Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, this is Kez here. I'm going to be talking about PLL Season 6 episode, I believe it's 9, and it's called FrAmed. So, what happened in this episode? It started with the 4 liars and Allison, who's also a liar, but whatever. They were all at somebody's house, I'm not sure whose, maybe Allie's house. And they were watching the news. You know, at the end of last episode, Allie told the cops that Charles is the one who is doing all this. Sorry if I just shook the camera. Charles is the one doing all this. And so this episode, like, it was all on the news. Like, oh, he's suspected of murdering his mother as well. And all you can see in Allie's face is just sadness, and the type of sadness where she's kind of feeling bad for Charles. She kind of wants to, you know, feel some sort of sympathy. And Hannah pretty much goes off. Like, she was being a little insensitive, but at the same time, it is how she felt, and it was better for her to just say how she felt than to kind of mask it and act like she felt any type of, you know, like she would ever feel any type of sympathy for Charles, or, you know, try to go easy on him or something, because that's not what she's going to try to do. So she pretty much, like, storms out of the house saying, like, you know, sorry, Allie, that I don't feel sorry for Charles, and I hope that he gets everything that he deserves and more, because nothing could be as bad as, she hopes it's worse than what he did to the girls, pretty much. And it's kind of weird to me that Allie doesn't feel any type of, she doesn't seem to feel mad at Charles or anything like that, even though he most likely is the one who killed her mom. And it's like, why did he kill her mom? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And she's just in this little mode of this episode of, like, I just don't even know him. I didn't even get to know him. And it's like, while that may be true, the person who was actually allowing you to at least see him a little bit and stuff was the one who ended up dead. Meanwhile, the father, who didn't even do anything, like, didn't even know that he was alive, is the one that is still kicking for now. So that was the beginning. I forget, something else happens in between. What's her name? At the end of last episode, Arya was not allowed, but she found out that she was entered into that contest that Clark told her about. And then it turns out, since all that happened at the arcade with Charles, that her parents were not going to let her go to it, to the art gallery thingamajig where she could win money and go to Los Angeles for her internship. And it's funny because Ezra suggests to her, oh, I could be your escort. It's like, you know she's in danger. Ezra's really weird because he's telling her, oh, I don't know, I feel like I'm sitting too much back. He's telling her, oh, like, oh, well, this is afterward, but he tells her that, oh, he doesn't trust Clark and stuff for asking her all these questions. But then you're telling her to go back out in the open when Charles is still at bay, and he's obviously mad about what happened with Jason. It's like, which one, like, do you want her to be happy and safe, or no? Which one is it? So yeah, she gets Tanner to convince her mom, which is also very weird that Tanner was so adamant about, allowing Arya to go. Like, you would think the police would be like, no, it's safest to just stay home or something like that. But I think Tanner only allowed her to do it because she wanted to see what Charles would do next so she could find more information about Charles. I think that's the only reason. And I don't know, I'm still getting a very creepy vibe from Detective Tanner. I'm not getting, like, she's a totally good person from her. I'm not getting that vibe from her. So I guess we'll see what happens with her. What else? Oh, I'm also getting this weird feeling about Arya again. You know, there is a theory out there that Arya was before we knew anything about Charles, obviously. But something just weird about the whole scene with Arya and Emily. Arya is clearly single, and she's asking Emily, oh, does she want to go with her as, like, being a prom buddy or whatever? And then Emily tells her the whole thing, she's thinking of asking Sarah. But it was like when Emily asked her about her prom dress, she was like, oh, I saw it a few weeks back. Like, I forgot where she said she saw it and stuff. And that it was a vintage, but I redid it. I wonder if her dress is gonna have some type of different meaning or something. I don't know if it is. It's because I'm still thinking about like seasons back with the black swan dress and stuff like that. I don't know. What if Arya still is like somehow connected with all of this? I'm not positive about this. I don't have anything to back it up right now, but I'm just wondering what if she is. Then Clark. So Clark in this episode, Clark has always been a little weird. He asks way too many questions. He doesn't have like a filter or like you're asking way too much questions. Like, can you stop right now? Like, she has to always tell him like, oh, don't worry about that, or like try to brush it off so that he doesn't ask any more questions. And I think he is a red herring. I don't think that he is necessarily involved with A per se, because it's a little convenient that we then see him with the might be Charles. His name is Reese Matthews. I'll get to him in a second. Because he always asks a lot of questions. It just seems like he is hiding something, or maybe he's like a journalist. I don't know. Who knows? Just because it's just a little weird that he asked the questions that he asked, and he showed up at the same place as Reese. It's like, what, was someone paying you to sabotage Arya's gallery, or nah? Like, what was the point? I don't know. But now the girls think that he's involved with A. I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. He just seems like he has way too many questions, and it's pretty annoying. But skipping back now. What's her name? Hannah and Spencer. So, first of all, the money that Hannah got for the scholarship from the Carissimi group, she got that check from that group, and obviously they think it has something to do with Charles because it came out of nowhere, $30,000, and that's the group that Mrs. D likes to give money to. Spencer devises a plan that, we'll just close your account, get the check, and so you want to give it back to have a meeting to see, like, if we can meet the person in charge or whatever. So they get to the office. They kind of gave it this 50 Shades of Grey vibe, which was weird. And then, Hannah's super paranoid in the office. That was pretty funny. She was like, is the mirror a two-way mirror? Are they listening to the conversation? And she was, like, scrunching up paper, trying to, like, hide the sound. I didn't know what she was trying to hide the sound of, because they weren't even talking at the time. But whatever. It was pretty funny. And this guy comes out, looking like, Christian Grey / Jason De Laurentiis, and it's like, whoa, they both like saw him and they were like, oh my gosh, you look just like Jason. But they didn't tell him that, obviously. They were trying to find a way to meet the boss, and he was all, the boss is busy. The boss keeps his identity secret on purpose. That's why there's a trust and all that, which is weird. It's like, again, why did I get... Like, Hannah did not have spectacular grades from what we know, I think. She did well in the SATs. If I were her, I would have just give the money to the school and let it rock. Like, she would have gotten into school. But she doesn't know where it came from, so whatever. Okay. I feel like I'm just dragging right now. Yeah, so he looks like Jason. They figured this out. They're like, well, what the heck would they have to end up going to the art gallery? Art gallery is happening. Later on, we find out that Ezra's thinking of doing Habitat for Humanity. It's like, why did he stop teaching again? Because he's a pedophile, or what? And then, he opens up the brew. He's thinking of now traveling and doing like, work in whatever country or whatever, which is very weird. He's always switching up a lot lately, which I don't know. I'm still not totally trusting of him because it just doesn't seem right. All of a sudden, I'm thinking about Habitat for Humanity. That's why he invited what's her face's friend, Emily's friend. What is that? Is that a pimple? Look at that. Pimples everywhere on my face. Okay. Yeah, so at the art gallery, this is where Clark acts a little bit weird. Arya was talking to Ezra. She asked him to prom. Nobody cares. Just fluff, fluff, fluff. And he brings the girl over. He's saying, oh, hi. And she feels awkward about that. So then she sees Clark. She says hi to Clark. She said, oh, I should go say hi, which was really weird and awkward. So when she's talking to Clark, she finds out, one, his parents are not coming. He didn't think she was coming, right? So his parents are not coming. She's like, aren't they in Baltimore? Isn't that close? She also asked him first, he was like, oh yeah. She's like, I'm super nervous. It's so weird to see my work in front of so many people, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, I know what you mean. And she's like, but didn't you win like a governor's award or something before? And he was like, yeah, but it wasn't anything this big. Like, maybe he lied about that. Maybe he's hiding something. We don't really know. He seemed a little fishy. And then he says, oh yeah, there's nobody here for him. And he's kind of seems like he's trying to get rid of her. Like, he's like, stop asking questions. Which is funny because he's always asking her questions. But now that she's asking him questions, he doesn't even want to answer them. So, that happens. And then she's like, oh, you know what? No one's here for you? That's okay. I'm here for you. And she kind of said that, and he was like, okay, great, I'll catch up with you later. Now, if no one's here for you, who are you going to? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you going to go talk to now that you can't talk to her anymore, that you'll catch up with her at another time? And he left at the exact moment when they're about to start showing everyone's work. He was also in this contest, so he is super fishy. I'm just not sure to what end, but who knows at this point. I think it's, what, one more episode until the finale? I think. And it's like, what's gonna happen? I don't know. So what else happened in this episode? Oh, another thing that made me think Arya was acting weird and something's weird going on is the way she was talking when she was talking to Ezra after they saw... Oh, I didn't talk about this. I'm sorry, guys. So, yeah, they open up the exhibit and boom, Arya's stuff is dead front center, but it's not even Arya's stuff. It's a picture of all the girls, the 4 liars, rather, you know, unconscious, naked, covered by those sheets with the way they woke up, after they were chipped, pretty much. So, you have to wonder, like, who did this? Who had the time to do this? Another thing I forgot to mention was we get to see Charles, who we think is Charles anyway, in a black hoodie, and Redcoat comes into the room. He's busy watching the surveillance of, the very art gallery that Arya's stuff is going to be displayed at. So he's watching security surveillance, and then he buzzes somebody in, and it's Redcoat. Now, something that we can notice that we didn't see Sarah this whole episode. Maybe it's too easy, maybe not. They talked about Sarah, but we didn't see her. And Redcoat was being very busy this episode, watching surveillance of the art gallery. And what else? Driving Charles's car for some reason with the prom tickets. Why was Redcoat driving the car? I have no idea. Makes you wonder, is Sarah Redcoat? I mean, what if Caleb was A? And, what if Caleb was A? Because, you know, Sarah works for Caleb now, so, like, they were driving the car and doing the surveillance together. What if that was what was happening? That would be pretty weird. Because we didn't see Caleb this episode either. I'm just saying that I don't want it to be Caleb by any means. I prefer it to be Ren or even Lucas. We don't see Lucas when Mona doesn't need him, but he's been involved in a lot of stuff, which is interesting. I'm not really sure who A is at this point, or Redcoat. If it was Sarah, that could be believable. I just want to know what the heck is she doing all this for. Also, the book law mentioned that, you know, in the past when we saw Redcoat, we also saw blonde hair. This time, however, we didn't see any hair, so maybe it is Sarah, because Sarah's hair is short. But who knows. So yeah, back to the art gallery. The girls' pictures are revealed, so the girls all have flashbacks at the same time. After the fact, Detective Tanner comes by and is like, oh, Charles is leaving me a message, because he said something, non sono lindas, like Linda as in they're not girls, or that they're not Lindas, and Tanner's first name is Linda. So I said non sono. This is not Italian, but whatever. The Spanish version of that. Tanner's all like, oh, he's sending me a message. He's telling me that he knows just about much about my past, because she grew up in a bilingual household. He knows just about her past, and she doesn't know about that. She knows about his. And it's like, it's funny that she took it so personally so quickly. But I guess she's a detective, so she could peep that. Like, she gets that automatically. I'm not sure. She just seems pretty weird about the whole thing. And she doesn't really answer Ella's questions. Even though Ella's like, so when are you guys gonna find him? She just like, oh, I have to get back to the office now. Oh, yeah, that's what else happened. Allie and Lorenzo. Allie's becoming a little housewife or something. And maybe that's why they want her to look older. Because, like, honestly, they don't look that great of a couple. Some people think they're a cute couple. No, I don't think so. Anyway, but who am I to judge, right? What am I gonna say? Yeah, so Lorenzo's hurt from the whole Charles incident, and he's recovering. He has to take some pills. He's gonna be knocked out. And Allie's like, oh, I'll do your laundry. I'll do the dishes, all this crap. I'm like, girl, go home. He told her to go home. And she's like, well, I'll do all this for you. And he's like, oh, thank you. No, she should be going home. She is not your wife. Anyway, so she does take it upon herself to steal his access key to the police station. Goes and looks at evidence and sees like a whole bunch of things that they think about Charles. So she feels so bad when she's caught by Tanner and asks Tanner, so what are you guys gonna do? She said, we're gonna use lethal force. And she's all like, but he's my brother, blah blah blah. Like, she's all sad and blah, yada yada yada. So Lorenzo finds out that she does take the card and he's pretty much in trouble now. So he's like, I just wish you wouldn't have done that. And it's like, you really don't know this girl. You've heard some really mixed up things about her, and then you just have her up in your house. You know, she is so close to this investigation and all that, and you really don't take any type of precaution, but whatever. I think it's a little weird, the whole Lorenzo thing. She just ended up using him at the end of the day, but at the same time, it's like, Lorenzo, are you really a cop or not? So yeah, what was weird about Arya? When Arya was talking to Ezra after the whole art gallery incident, she says like how it felt like waking up when they were drugged on that moment that they were on the table. She's like, pretty much, long story short, she was like, I feel cold and I felt cold ever since. That monologue seemed so weird to me. I don't know how you guys felt about it. It just felt really weird to me. After that, the girls tell Arya what they saw. They saw Clark, and she's like, what? Clark? Clark is harmless. Oh, she had told Ezra, oh, he's not a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy, so he's fine. Meanwhile, he is not fine, though. Something's up there. So a lot happened, but nothing too crazy to me. So Redcoat is still around. Redcoat is still is an ally of Charles. I don't know if that was the case before, but it is now. I don't know if this is the same Redcoat. I don't know if Redcoat is Melissa, Sarah, or who. But I guess we'll see shortly. Supposedly, we'll see, guys. Yeah, let me know if I left anything out. I wasn't super entertained by this episode, but it was okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next episode. I hope it's better. I hope we just get to see who Redcoat and Charles is already, even if the characters don't know. I want to know for sure. But yeah, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Like this video, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.